Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and we're going to be doing an interesting 1v1 battle where you're going to see me here playing as Native American tribes. I'm going to be the Cherokee Nations facing off against the French, and the battle itself is going to be taking place in Empire Total War on early settings, so that means the enemy technology is a little bit more restricted, which I felt was perhaps a little bit fair. And you can see us stretch across here on a pretty big map. One of the cool things about the Indian nations that you can play is obviously, well, the unit models are themselves very, very cool. We can see these troops start to move forward. A couple of these Lancer cavalry, but they also have a lot of these really nice infantry, very good on melee attack, and a lot of them can deploy hidden, and they also have the ability to move forward while hidden. So I have a lot of my bowmen here moving forward. So I have two bowmen on this flank pushing up this approach, kind of scouting. Then I have some of more medicine men, and some of my big clusters of units are more hidden. They're waiting for the appropriate time to launch their assault, so a big group in here. And of course, this guy's didn't really graduate with honors in the scouting and hiding ceremony, apparently. But now we also have another big cluster in the center. Again, another big battle group that I'm holding back in reserve, and it's really cool to see the clash of technologies and fighting styles take place, and that's one of the things I really like about Shogun, and it's cool to go back and play that Empire, especially with the Indian nations. Another one is going to be over here that I'm pushing forward pretty aggressively, kind of mirroring the one on the other side where I have medicine men, and in the back the warriors, who are very good, and then my bowmen sneaking up, plus the lancers, and they're going to be kind of cresting the hill and taking a look at what the French forces are doing. On the other side, we can kind of take a look at what is happening from the French perspective. They have just a couple of their sort of light cavalry, and they can see definitely something is going on. They can see one detachment here, probably a little scary. Meanwhile, they have a lot of their forces positioned here. They've decided to stake up. Their cannons are going to start firing, but through the brush, they're going to have a hard time pinning my forces. Over here, they're going to start to get some shots against me, and they're going to countercharge up in this position. So let's go ahead and watch these Frenchmen charge against my Indian braves on this side, against the medicine men. So in this type of engagement, I should actually win. We have tomahawks that I can fight back with, and he's going to get a pretty decent first charge, but like I said, this is early tier, and so these troops are not going to be so good. Plus I have nearby bowmen who can help out, and over here I countercharge with my lancers. So you can see once my units start to get engaged with the Frenchmen, and let's just take a look at the models fighting, definitely very different, and some of the own French shots are going to be indiscriminate, killing both forces. But yeah, it's kind of evening up over here. They're killing some of my men, but here come more of my bowman archers. I'm glad I deployed two on this side, and they're going to be shooting down the retreating Frenchmen. Looks like the enemy actually killed my cavalry, so we're going to be repaying them. You're going to charge right into my guys, but I have more medicine men in the back, and they're going to countercharge these forces. Some guys on the right shooting arrows, so I'm actually going to be able to kill these guys. Some of my men look like they're getting back up from this fight, so I didn't actually take too many losses. And now we're going to be finishing off the Frenchmen. So just absolutely swarming this side. We're now going to be moving out, scalped a couple of them, and now we're going to be pushing on. Took out this force, and now you can see up in the center, these guys saw the queue, and now they're going to be charging forward all up and down the plane. You can watch the French guys on this side not quite knowing what to anticipate. They don't see anything on the left front. They saw that they sent some guys over on the right. They're going to be repositioning, shooting at some of my guys who are retreating. And they're trying to reform. They're not quite sure what's coming out of the bushes. It's going to be quite the scary sight. Some of my men leading the charge over here. Very intimidating warriors. And they're also going to be getting some shots on my forces over here who are kind of stationary. I held this assault, but we're slowly going to be creeping up on all fronts. The French sentries have been picked off, and now we're pushing up towards the most crucial of positions. And it's maybe a good idea to dig in your forces here, but in the forest, it's not going to be the best for him, because take a look, this is going to give my guys a lot of cover, especially with the little undulations in the hill. That is going to be playing to my advantage. So here we go. A couple of the arrows are going to be shooting overhead. I'm going to stop my guys within tomahawk range to try and get some shots off, but actually I decide to think better of that, and I decide to just all-out charge these guys. The artillery crew is actually going to try and intercept me, so we're going to swiftly cut these guys down. And they're just trying to buy time. You can see the arrows actually coming in. Here's my standard bearer actually fighting them. The enemy forces are now going to get a couple ranks of fire on. But here we go. Their asses are mine. So we're going to charge in all of my guys surrounding them. another force sweeping around here, and you can see this is actually another signal to my men to charge forward. They're now going to be leading the assault soon on this position. Here you go, another Lancer detachment, realizing that it's time to go. So they're going to be charging in coordination with an assault up on the right side, countercharging against these Lancers. The Gendarmerie on this side, however, are going to have a nice hill advantage, so they're going to be able to hold me here. But again, support is inbound. Let's go ahead and go back and watch a little bit of this engagement coming in. The cannons are here. I got some tomahawk throws right into this. I'm getting attacks in the back, so these guys are going to get destroyed on all sides before they can fire canister shot on me. This entire French flank is now going to be collapsing now that we're in the mix. Additional bows are going to be just destroying everything. And this is all in anticipation for my chieftain coming into the fight, so the Lancers. And now we can go ahead and look at my war chief, who's actually going to be leading the main detachment of the tribe, the other warriors in the back. So here's my chief. He's watching over this whole side, and he can see, okay, the right flank has not quite been taken. He knows something's up on the right side, so it's up to him to push the left. So he's going to check the horses and then push this assault over to the left and just try and overwhelm the French. Meanwhile, these warriors are collecting their scalps, finishing on the French, and sending forward some of their ranged troops. So we're going to be reforming before we try and collapse on the French. Some of the unmanned guns left over here. A lot of tribesmen there. And now we're going to be pushing up the center. Like I said, on this side we were repulsed, so my chieftain picked up on that. And these guys are going to be trying their best to try and push forward and take that hill. Some of my bowmen ready to unleash on those guys. But meanwhile in the center, more of my guys are going to be engaging. Two warrior units are going to be pushing up on this side on the main French force. Meanwhile in this position, look at this massive line of natives. We're now going to be closing in. Now they're going to be charging forward. Bowmen all charging forward. Let's see this on the French side as they're going to line up some of their troops. And here comes the Lancers coming in first. Let's see if they can get even a first volley. No, it looks like we just crush into this force before it can even rally. The French flag trying to wave the support of these guys. More of my warriors in the distance. And now I've got his guys a little bit caught. He's going to start to unleash with this group of units. They're going to be caught reloading, so I'm going to stand, and we're going to unleash a couple tomahawk volleys, a couple arrow volleys. The French are actually going to start reloading. That's not going to be good for my guys who are charging forward. Obviously, basically naked at this point. They don't have much on them, but if we can time this between volleys, here we go. Charging in. Yep, finished them off before the volley came in. We're going to absolutely crush these guys. Some of the cannon fire is actually going to be closing on my guys here on the left French flank. They're going to be hiding behind their stakes. That's more suited to holding back some cavalry, but against these nimble, agile warriors, we're going to cut these guys apart. Their single volley, I mean, got like just a couple kills. We're going to be swarming the ranks here. Some of the Frenchmen are already trying to tuck tail and run over on the right. The rest of our forces have been kind of obliterated where they face the cannons. We got some pretty heavy damage dealt to us. So the French are going to be kind of winning in the center. But here comes my chieftain, committing to the fight, rallying the troops where needed, and now circling around. My archers, in the meantime, were told to target the enemy general, who is at the same time also trying to rally his men. You can see him here, going after my archers. We'll see if we can't pick him off. Here he goes. He's going straight up against my guys. It looks like he thought better of it. He's not so brave now. Let's see if we can't pin him in the back. Yep, there he goes. One of them took a headshot. There he goes. My own chieftain is now going to be pushing in through the back to try and save some of my regiments in the middle who are starting to lose their men. So here comes my chieftain right into the back of these French. So he should be able to break these guys. In the mix. Absolutely shattering this wing. And now we're going to try and come to the relief of this force over on this side. And apologies if you can hear the Skype bubbles going off. I'll try and turn that off. But there you go. Actually, my general actually ended up dying in that assault. So, rather unfortunate. He was holding so strong, rallying his men, but I guess with such a victory as we're having on this flank, it couldn't go without sacrifices. Meanwhile, over here, we're starting to close. We were able to win this flank with the support of the archers and all my tribal warriors and all the tomahawks. We threw in, we destroyed the cavalry, and now sweeping in on this side, clearing up the French lines are going to be the remainder of the tribesmen, and they're going to see the French are tangled up, closing on these units, seizing the cannons, making sure we didn't attack up front straight on these guys without a distraction force. So my chieftain is definitely, or was, posthumously, was a great strategic thinker. He knew how to take out the French, and now it looks like we're going to be taking them out of the island. Some of the French actually charging us with sabers. We'll see if that holds up. So they are kind of starting to clean up our guys on those flanks, so we're going to need to send some reinforcements. Over here we are cleaning up the rest of the French. Some of my guys avenging my chieftain, killing the rest of the French. It is gory, gory, gory stuff on this side. My bowmen are still alive. They seem to be very accurate in these battles, making sure that they come to the relief of their brethren. So over here targeting the French who are still alive. A little bit of 1v1 combat. This is not what a Frenchman wants to see. He is used to being drilled and trained to fight as a unit, and now that he's pulled out against what he would think were savages, it's going to be very, very hard for him to win. Now you can see them being obviously cut down even more, and now ridden down. So there we go, just massacring the French on this side, and we still have some holdouts here in their nice shiny white coats and white flag, and that is going to be smeared with their own blood relatively soon. So from both sides, here we go. In the distance, like I said, however, the French are kind of holding us back. Some of our units are starting to rout, so we really have to clean up this flank. Continue to chase them down. And my archer is still doing a lot of damage. Let's take a look, a survey of the casualties. So mopped them up through here, reformed, came back through here with a combined assault up through the center. A lot of deaths actually on my side, so I lost a pretty good amount of men, especially up the center. Cannon fire helped turn the tide against me a little bit in the center, but now these cannoneers are going to be repaid once more. So we're not going to let anyone escape. Even the couple men over there are going to get ridden down. So that's it for this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really like the dynamics of the old versus new, and it's really nice to be able to give a spanking to some of the newer nations and play out some of these asymmetric battles, especially in Empire. It's really fun. So I hope to bring you more of these old school battles. I definitely enjoy them. Let me know what you'd like to see. More sieges, more of these types of battles, massive battles, stuff like that. I always, read the comments and take that into consideration. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.